I want to start with you talking a little bit about what you're going to do tomorrow at Gay and Lesbian Pride Day, and to raise any issues that might have come up in the classroom.
I don't know. I guess for me, and I'm not trying to be decisive, and I don't know what to do about this, but as a school, are we saying that the kids have to support this? I mean, I guess that's what it sounds like to me, that we're saying if a child comes from a background that says that homosexuality is not correct, are we telling that child that they're supposed to, this is what you're supposed to do? I guess I keep getting that feeling that if a person is coming from that background, that we're supposed to tell them this is right. And I just feel like that child is gonna...
I don't think we're saying that at all. But I think what we're saying is to respect other people's differences.
I totally hear what you're saying.
It's hard
but I want to make sure that it's there, that if they don't agree, that they too can be respected for that also. That's what I'm trying to say. I want to make sure that it's understood that if you choose not to, that's fine. I still want your respect as well. That's what I'm saying. That's a choice.
Not to what?
Not to agree with you.
Agree about what?
That homosexuality is right.
A little child in our class the other day said that when her grandmother came to visit, that the parents were explaining to the grandmother about what we were doing here at the school, and the grandmother was very upset and said, "This is wrong. This is wrong. The school should not do this. Kids should not know about these things. This is just wrong." I don't remember exactly what I said, but I remember being caught in that bind of wanting her to maintain her thing for her grandmother. I'm not going to come between her and her grandmother. So I don't know. I think that's true and real and hard.
And I don't know if this works for you, but I think that we are asking kids to believe that this is right. Not as a matter of moral principle, but as a matter of, we're educating them, and this is part of what we consider to be a healthy education.
And I want to go back to the thing that Art said, which is that what we're trying to have people do is to understand that people are, and that we have to respect the right of all of us to just be, and be who we are. And we do that in the classroom when we teach so that everyone can learn. There isn't a right way, there isn't a wrong way, there isn't a good way, there isn't a bad way. The way that it is what it is. And it never is clean and neat and tidy and without some kind of conflict, because we don't all live all by ourselves.
My name is Jeff, and for those of you who don't know me yet, I teach creative movement to the 1st and 2nd grade, and I was an after-school teacher. And this is a soccer ball. How many of you have ever kicked a soccer ball or played the game of soccer? Come on over on that bench. I bet you guys have. All right, there you go. You guys are included too. Imagine if every time I went to play soccer, I had to hide my right shin. I might hide it like this. And then I'd try to play soccer. It wouldn't be easy, but I could do it. It would take a lot of energy to play soccer and also hide my leg. Well, at CFS, I don't have to hide. So I can play soccer with 2 legs. Can you see how much better I can play? Yep. At CFS, I can tell the truth that I'm a gay man. And that gives me so much more energy to be a better teacher, to be a better coworker, and to be a better friend. I'll see you on the soccer pitch.
I want to say to you all that today I feel the most proud of the kids in this school. And I just want to say that I know that the kids in this school are going to go out and you're going to make this world a better and a safer place, not just for gay and lesbian people, but for all of us. Thanks, you guys. You're great.
A lot of teachers came out because I think it's better to know somebody that's gay, and it makes you like look at it in a different way. Because now you actually like feel like you know what gay is all about, and like it isn't actually different than anybody else. It's just like different private things.
My first teacher in the school was gay, or a lesbian, and at first I didn't quite know how to react to that. I didn't know whether to think, well, this isn't good, what should I do? I mean, I should be worried. And then as time went on, I started to learn that, you know, it's okay, it's fine. You know, it's not anything different. This teacher acts just the same as every other teacher in the school, except for the one fact that this person is attracted to the same sex as themselves.
So if there's kids in the other schools that are thinking that they are gay and thinking that it's bad, then who knows what they'd like do. They might like hurt themselves or whatever.
28% of all gay teenagers drop out of high school, more than twice the national average. They're also more prone to abuse alcohol and drugs.
And 30% of all teen suicides are committed by kids trying to deal with their own homosexuality.
It's alarming. The amount of attempted suicide and suicides in teenagers who are gay and lesbian is astronomical, because they haven't been exposed to this education, but they are gay and lesbian. And this society is saying that's not okay, and that they aren't okay. So what do? They try to kill themselves. We're not taking care of our children in this country. We're telling you have to be a certain way. If you're not okay.
So I wanted to start out by asking you, did you all celebrate Mother's Day yesterday? Who did? Yeah, let's see a show of hands. Who celebrated Mother's Day? Who was the guest of honor yesterday? Who did you honor for Mother's Day in your particular family? Anyone want to say Stephen?
Grandma.
Your grandmother and your mother, Miranda?
My grandma and my mom.
Same for you. Hannah, how about in your family?
Nobody special was celebrated. It was just my mom, my sister, my stepsister, my stepdad, and me.
Amy?
I celebrated it with my grandparents and my mom and my dad, my sister.
Okay. So everybody celebrated it with different people. There's step-parents, grandparents, aunts, brothers, sisters, all different kinds of people. Each family is different, and what do you think, what do all of them have in common? What makes a family if everybody's is a little bit different? Eli?
One mom, a dad, probably one brother and one sister.
So you think that that's pretty much a definition of a family, a mom, a dad, a sister, and a brother. Does anyone else want to add to that or comment on what Eli is saying? Jennifer?
Well, really just more than one person makes a family. It doesn't matter if you have 2 or 3, just more than one person makes a family.
So if Tracy and Jennifer and JD had a play date, are they a family? Since they're more than one person?
If you're related and it's more than one person.
So more than one person related, and it doesn't matter whether it's a mom or a dad or a sister or a brother, as long as it's more than one related. Shantae?
Like when I saw a movie, and it's a true story, a Chinese girl was adopted to a white lady.
So it could be people of different backgrounds, different colors, different religions, races.
I got something to add.
Absolutely, go ahead.
And they had white kids, there was 2 big Chinese girls, and there was a white little girl, a white kid, and they was brothers and sisters.
I think it's not what color you are, how many people, whether or not you're blood related. I agree with you. And some of you were wondering, you saw that I had invited Emily in and you were wondering why she's here. Why don't you come up, Emily? For those of you who don't know her, Emily's next door to us in Rose's class. She's in 3rd grade too. And I asked her to come in today on purpose because yesterday, for Mother's Day, her celebration was probably a little bit different than any of the celebrations that any of us had in this class. Do you know CBK Cookies on Amsterdam Avenue? They sponsored a contest. It was a Mother's Day essay writing contest. And I didn't know about the contest, but when it was over, a couple of people told me, you should read Emily's essay. It was really interesting and really nice. And I thought it would be nice if she came in and read it to you. So here's a copy of it. And in a nice, why don't you move up so they could hear you? And in a nice, really loud voice, this is the essay that was entered for a Mother's Day contest.
My mothers mean so much to me. I have 2 mothers. 2 moms is pretty nice. Well, it's more than pretty nice, it's really nice. You can't imagine. Although having 2 mothers is a problem to others, I respect that that's the way they think, and I can't do anything about it. I still think that those people think stupidly. This once happened with a boy in my class who could not come to my house because my parents were lesbian. One night I called their house and the mother told me their version of the Bible. I stood up for my mothers and knew that many kids of my class were supporting me and calling me to see how I was. I am proud of my moms and enjoy marching in the Gay Pride March every single year with my moms.
So wasn't that a nice essay? Should we give Emily a round of applause? And I thought that before we move on, that you might have a comment or a question that you wanted to ask Emily about her family or about her essay. Daniel?
I think that it was a really nice poem because she stood up for her mother and father, her mothers, and she didn't care what other people thought. And it was like, it doesn't matter if you have a mother and a mother, a father and a father, you stood up for them.
Miranda?
I liked your poem also, and the thing also, but did you win the contest?
You did. Congratulations.
And the votes are in, but the controversy continues in Merrimack over homosexuality and the classroom.
Let me assure you that I will teach my children about Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
That's not a family. Show me somewhere in the Bible where it says that. It's not there.
I would not want my child raised with homosexual influences or teaching them that this is a normal lifestyle.
I think that everybody will stand behind the banner of being, no discrimination and promoting tolerance, except that when you come to an issue of gay and lesbianism, I think then people, because of the religious beliefs, sometimes fall from behind that banner, but I have to say to them that if I'm going to protect your religious beliefs, if I'm going to respect them, then I'm asking you to respect the stance we take in teaching about tolerance for others.
When I feel, worried about presenting this to the children, and when I feel worried about repercussions, especially in light of, recent politics and things moving, to the right. In spite of that, I feel very motivated to keep going with this in my classroom because I know how hard it was for me to grow up, and I know that nobody ever gave me any sense that it was okay to be who I was or that there were supports, resources for me, anything. So I know what it's like to grow up in that way, and if I could even reach one child, if I could help one child to grow up feeling that it was okay, remembering my words or the story that I read them, or even knowing that I was gay, if that could help them to, grow up and not feel so isolated and not feel as though their life was just going to be complete hell, then, it's worth it to me. So that idea keeps me going. I have a question for you about Emily's moms. Are they married? Are her 2 moms a married couple? What do you think about that question? Hannah?
If they want to get married, they can, or they can just live together. Like my old daycare teacher, she lives with a man, and they're not married, but it doesn't really matter. So I think that they could get married if they want to.
Okay. Let me tell you quickly the background. Today, the law says that if you're the same sex, 2 men and 2 women, you can't get married. It is against the law. And I thought that it might be kind of fun for us to sort of be pretend judges for a few minutes. What I'm going to give each of you is a sheet that just tells you that some people think that it's wrong for gays to get married, that it's not natural, and that it goes against what a family is. Other people think that the state should not decide these things, that it should just be up to 2 adults to decide what they want to do. What do you think the answer to these questions are? Should gays be allowed to marry? Should they not? What I want you to do is have a discussion, and of course, when you have a discussion, not everybody agrees, but everybody does listen to one another and try to understand each other's positions.
I don't see why they shouldn't. I don't see why they shouldn't get married. I mean, they love each other. It's just like any other people.
They just can't get married like that. I mean, one might have a disease and they want to get married and they won't even know about it. And then maybe the other person might catch it and then they won't be able to get married.
Yeah, but a man and a woman could have a disease also like that.
If they're gay, I mean, one they have a disease.
I think gay people should get married. Yeah, if they love someone, let them get married. I know. Let's say if Andres wanted to get married to Eric. I'm just doing this, but I am the judge, and I'm saying, no, you two can't get married. I don't care if you love them. You can't get married. How do you think you guys would feel? Mad? Yeah, exactly. So you think that they can't get married? I don't know. I don't get it. Neither do I. It's like, who cares if we were gay? Do you care? No. So, it's like, duh, you're gay. Like, now the majority is not gay or lesbian couples. I think they should think about what if the majority was gay or lesbian couples and there was a law that said you had to be gay or lesbian and you couldn't get married to the opposite sex. I think they should think about that and see how they would feel, and then they might know how the gays and lesbians feel, and then I think that they should really think about that.
They don't want other people to be gay. It's like they want to be the bosses of other people.
It's just like having prejudice against blacks or Jews or anything else.
You have to come to the realization that it's in our society, it's a reality, it's what's going on. The person in the next cubicle over from you could be gay or lesbian, and you have to work with that person. You know, you don't have to believe in what they do or what they say, but you have to get the awareness needs to be there for children.
That's one of the reasons why it's important for me to do this, is because I know how it feels to be discriminated against, to be called quote unquote different. I know this tape would probably help a lot of schools, you know, get this into their curriculum and stuff, and any other issue that they're afraid to say or don't think would work too good, but there's nothing too, you know, small that it doesn't deserve its own fair shot.
In my position here, I would like to give the boys and girls here as many experiences. We go on field trips. We read a variety of pieces of literature. And if they're going to be the leaders of tomorrow, and we don't provide them with these experiences, then we will not be improving our civilization.
And what we give them and how they're living. Living many generations, spirits pass through you, but then you must sit back and watch them do what they do. Cause every time they were taught a lesson, they took it in and in their hearts they caress them. So trust them, don't rush them. They're a mirror image of you and what you are, and the ancestors trace way back far in history, but they've developed their own frame of mind. So check this rhyme and think about it one time. You've done a good job and it shows that you've worked hard. Now they're growing strong, you can put down your guard. You gave them life, but the children are not really yours, though your essence is used from their very pores of past and of present. doesn't want you to know how it be. Together y'all can progress from here till eternity.
Children are not your children. They are the sons and the daughters of life, longing for itself. They come through you, but they are not from you. And though they are with you, they belong not to you. You can give them your love, but not your thoughts. They have their own thoughts. They have their own thoughts. You can house their bodies, but not their souls. For their souls dwell in a place of tomorrow, which you cannot visit. You cannot visit. You cannot visit. Not even in your dreams. Your children belong to the future. Your children belong to the future. Your children, oh, your children belong to the future. Your children, they belong to the future. Your children, your children belong to the future. Your children, they belong to the future. Your children, oh, your belong to the future. Your children, they belong to the future. Your children,
come on, clap your hands, everybody.
Belong to the future.
Don't you know that the children belong to the future?
Your children belong to the future.
Don't you know that children belong to the future?
Your children belong